Paul, Wisdom Patch is a horse that you'll line up on the all-weather this Saturday afternoon. Desperately unlucky last time out. How has he come out of that race?
He's come through it pretty well. In fact, he's been unlucky his last two races. But he is, we've got to be mindful that he's up in class. But on his last two performances, off a lightweight and having Joe on, I think he'd be very competitive.
114 with Joe. There might be a pound over. Would that be fair? I mean, was it a case of Joe coming to you, or you finding Joe?
Yeah, no, Joe did make inquiries about when the horse would race next. Naturally enough, going up 2 points instead of one, that sort of eliminated Zach. So, Joe came looking for him. So, very hard to turn down. But I think he'll be 1 or 2 overweight, but that'll be fine.
Yeah, indeed. Very hard to turn the Magic Man down. Just on his recent performances, Paul, as well, like I know you alluded to, they've been in lesser grade. He's had those pacifiers on his last couple. Do you feel they've made a big difference with this horse?
I think it's given him a little bit more confidence to run into the sand. And I think he really has found his niche on the sand. He's had some mild wind operations, about 6 months or so ago. It really has improved the horse.
What is it that makes a horse like him sort of a contender on the all-weather, Paul? I mean, your record on the all-weather from only limited runners is very good this season. How did you identify him possibly as a horse that would go on the all-weather? What sets him apart?
Well, I think the biggest problem for horses here in Hong Kong is the firm surfaces of the grass tracks. And as long as you get a dry dirt track, it does give them a little bit of relief, and they're able to stride out a lot better. So I think that's been the case with him.
Yeah, he certainly looks like a worthy chance. And obviously just on sort of the draw, you're in gate number 9. That's a little bit worse than what he's had his last couple. Do you feel that would affect him in any way with the 9 draw?
Well, he's had low draws his last 2, and it's probably cost him both races. But if he can get 3 deep with cover, they seem to be able to do that on the dirt, and hopefully that's what he'll get.
Paul, Apache Pass is a horse that's really found his niche on the all-weather. Went back-to-back a couple of starts ago and put in another solid performance on the surface last time.
Yeah, no, since going to the dirt, it's made a big difference. He's also had a lot of trouble going right-handed. He was trained in Perth, and he had trouble getting around the corners, but he seems to have improved a lot in that area. But his last start, he possibly found the 1800 too far. But back to the 1650, he's got a draw that he can use, and he's in good form.
He certainly is in good form. I mean, the handicapper's put up a couple of points on the back of last time as well. I mean, it was a hugely commendable run. It was a fast dirt surface on that occasion, but he really did give a good finishing kick, didn't he?
Yeah. There's 2 wins he's finished very solidly, particularly his last one. And he was sort of in front until the last 50 metres the other day. So back to the 1650 should be just ideal for him. But for sure, the handicapper hasn't missed him. But anyway, I'm a horse trainer. I've got to say that. Just
looking at it on paper, Paul, obviously it's a competitive little heat. Your guy is now racing off a mark of 74. Do you feel he's still got a little bit still to give off that mark?
I think so. It'll come down to the runs he gets in his races. But he's got good tactical gate speed and can put himself right there and kicks at the finish. So he'll be very competitive, I think.
Jerry, Flying Season is a horse that both you and he have really got a good relationship going. We spoke before he won last time out, and he was very impressive. Just take us back to that win. It was a big success.
Yes, last time he up to Class 3, and he won very easy. And before the race, I want him to be more settled and follow the horse, but he jumped very fast and he just lead all the way. Yeah, it was very good.
What's interesting about him, Jerry, obviously just watching the race and having watched it back, he just seems to have this ability to sort of gallop his rivals into the ground a little bit, because one by one they were all coming off the bridle, and your horse was still travelling very sweetly.
Yes, but last time he carried a lightweight, and he can do that, and it's proof that he can be lead and he still can have a finish. But I more prefer him to follow the horse because he's still young, and this time he carried a bit heavyweight, and I want him to be more relaxed earlier stage, and he can catch the leader.
The handicapper hasn't missed him. He's put him up 12 points as well. Do you feel he's still a horse that is going to continue to improve? What have you made of him since that win, Jerry?
After the race, I get up him, and he improved every time after the race. And yeah, this time a bit hard for him because he go up at 12 pound. The young horse is pretty much, but I think he still can get the job done.
Just finally, Jerry, I mean, do you feel this horse has got the makings of going to the next level? I mean, just on what he's done as a 3-year-old, I mean, many people would say that he should maybe be unbeaten because, I mean, on his debut, he missed the start, didn't he? So do you and Manfred think that you've got a horse that can go to the next level?
I think so. Me and Mr. Man thinking he's a very good horse, and he got a good character. Every time in the race, he tries best, and I think he can go up to the next level.
And just finally, Jerry, I know he's obviously sticking to 1,000 for now, but does he give you the feel of a horse that would get further?
I think at this moment, he's still not totally mature, and I think 1,000 is good for him now. And I think after this race, we see. I think we still keep on 1,000 first.
Frankie, like that is a horse from your stable that's been in great form in his recent couple of starts, and you'll run him again on Saturday.
Yes, I went on Saturday. Same as last time, all weather check.
Talk us through that win last time, because he beat a useful horse, Lightning Bolt, who he meets again this weekend.
Yes, but this time the joke is a little bit different. Last time, Chau my horse, and this time, Chau did a Lightning Bolt. But anyway, we got a good draw, and then the form's still good.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, the draw, as you say, he's drawn in gate 2, and he's gone up £5, a career high mark now. He's got to race off for 71. Do you feel that as he's got a little bit older, Frankie, that he's managing to stay that bit better? I mean, his early form as a Griffin over 1,000, and it was very good. Do you feel now that 1,200 is where this horse is best suited?
1,000 or 1,200 also still can handle for this horse. Before, I still worry about his early type. Maybe he only 2 or 3 years old and then finished not much, but he looks like still a little bit improved. So he looks better this season. Yeah.
I guess that can happen, can't it, with Griffin horses, that they have a very good sort of 2-year-old campaign and then they go off the boil a little bit and come back. Is that what you think this horse has done? He's just sort of found his second wind, as it were.
Yes, I think so. You can see he after more race for him, and then he looks improved. This season, I raced him 1 time in Happy Valley. I think it's in Class 3. Joe him also. He paved wide, but still finished second. And that's why at that time I think maybe the horse Class 3 maybe just a little bit not too good for him. When he dropped down to Class 4, he can win and go up to Class 3. I still thinking that's why. May just try over the track different, a little bit different, and then to see any change, any improve for him. So it's good for over the track.
Zach, Sawvest is a horse that you'll jump on this Saturday at Sha Tin. I guess thoroughly undone by the barrier last time.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't make it easy for him, and especially off such a nice run the start before, but he's working well. He's in a good frame of mind, and hopefully we can just get the right run on him this time and he can be competitive again.
And just on last time, Zach, obviously had to track it a bit wider given you were drawn in 14. I mean, he seems to have a really good finishing kick, this fellow, only beating the neck in the end.
Yeah, he was solid. The pace was run at quite a nice tempo, so he come with a good run, but probably got there a little bit too early, and the other horses were able to close a little bit stronger than him. He got there and waited and gave it up a little bit as well. So, he's not a straightforward horse, but, when you can get it right on him, obviously he's got the ability.
He's drawn 3 this time around, obviously, so a much better draw there. I mean, the time he did win, you had Running Glory back in 5th. Now, he's been rather progressive as well. So that winning form of this horse really does sort of stand strong in this race.
Yeah, you're right. When he did win, though, the pace of the race really suited him. He was in the right spot. He jumped well. He just travelled in the right spot comfortably all the way. And Running Glory had a bit of a tough run for sort of further back in the field and had to try and reel us in. And, it was a bit hard for him these days, but that day. But we're going to need a similar run again. He's got a little bit more weight to carry now, but he's drawn the right gate to get that right run.
Just looking at it on paper, Zach, do you think you'll get the tempo desired for this horse in this race?
Yeah, it's always hard to tell in Hong Kong because sometimes what you think is going to happen doesn't happen. It sort of goes out the window when the gates open. But he's certainly drawn to get the right run if the circumstances permit.
Just a couple of things finally, Zach. Obviously, we haven't spoken since you got to the 100 at Happy Valley this week. Very well done on that. A sixth time that you've managed to chalk up a century. I mean, you know, you'll be the first to admit that you're in a very fortunate position here. But that said, that's still quite an achievement to do it 6 years in a row.
Yeah, it is, of course, and it's been a difficult season as well, obviously, with the fall and the injury and the time out. And, you know, I'm still trying to work my way back to full health at the moment, which has been difficult. But, you know, it's a long season. To get to 100 again is another great achievement. Very proud of that. Hopefully I can continue to get the support towards the end of the season and put a few more winners in.
And just talking of booting those winners in, you were putting some of the finishing polish to California Spangle this week at the trials. Were you happy with how he came through that? He looked visually very good.
Yeah, he's a real dude, that horse. He just pleases every time you go out there and do anything on him. He just wants to please, and he's no nonsense. He just does everything right. He stands good in the gates, shows good speed. He knows what his job is now. He's becoming a more complete and well-rounded horse as time goes on. And obviously, it's been a big ask for him. He's only been racing for about a year, and he's gone from 1,000 to 1,200 to a mile to 1,800 to 2,000. So things have continually been changing for him, and he's been able to adapt to all those different scenarios. And now he comes back to a mile, which is probably a little bit more suitable for him in a smaller field. He's going to have to take on the champ, though. So that's going to be no easy feat, and especially with him being so devastating at his last run, he's going to come into the race full of confidence. But we're the young horse on the rise, and you got to take on the old dog at some stage, and it'll be a good measuring stick for us.